800, 900. The big 1,000 was well and completely done.
But any messages to the people that joined today that you want to say hi?
Thank you so much. Putting your inside of me, like, and it really has changed my life.
Come in, take a seat, grab a drink. I've got my freezing cold white Monster. I wish this was sponsored by Monster, because it would make the video seem a little less painful. Although, having said that, clearly I have a soft spot for Bonnie Blue, because this is what, my 3rd or 4th video on her. But that's because, guys, she is the gift that just keeps on ultimately giving. So if you don't know who Bonnie Blue is, first of all, well done. That's a great achievement. Honestly, more impressive actually than sleeping with 1,000 men in one go. She has done exactly that. She slept with 1,000 men in one go. She labelled the men that she wants to sleep with as barely legal schoolies. She was banned from the borders in Australia after announcing her plans to sleep with barely legal schoolies. And yeah, now she's done some other shit that is pretty deplorable. So I thought today we'd watch and have a laugh because I'm a So
this is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturiser was good for your skin.
Okay. There's something inherently weird encouraging young women that they should feel obliged to take loads to their skin. But second of all, if that's what you look like after taking 1,057 men, I actually genuinely applaud you because you look pretty normal. Most people after having sex do not look like that. Like, their hair is everywhere, and you look like you've just got ready to go on a night out, to be perfectly honest. So that's genuinely impressive, for one. And second of all, so if you've missed things, I feel like I should clear up a few things that have been missing in this storyline. We previously looked at Lily Phillips, who had sex with, was it like 100 men in one day? She then said she was going to go and do 1,000 men in one day, but Bonnie Blue beat her to it because the OF game is a dirty, dirty game. It's dog on dog, man. That's not the best phrase to use in this situation. But yeah, it's pretty ruthless out there, okay? Because it was Lily Phillips' idea and she beat her to it, man. I don't know what to say. Like, you were just too slow. Well, you weren't slow because 1,000 men in one day is quite fast. 1,000 men in 12 hours. 1,057 men in 12 hours, actually, which I would argue is probably not true, but that's a whole other conversation for later. And I just saw in the comments here, someone said something quite derogatory about the assumption that her lady parts would not look great after, which, I mean, actually, I don't know the implications of having 1,000 pieces in your in one day. I actually don't know. I'm going to assume that it doesn't do anything, but I don't know, okay? Sometimes I say things as if I know, and I don't because I've never had 1,000 men inside my at once, so I actually don't know. But considering the is pretty elastic, I'm assuming it goes back to its natural state. If anyone is a connoisseur of videos, please let me know in the comments because I actually don't know. But something I saw on TikTok that really irritated me was people women especially, kind of talking about the appearance of her, saying like how grim it is. And that's not even them making reference to her having just had sex with loads of men. People just like coming at the fact that she has big lips. Like, I don't know. You expect it from a lot of men, I think. Not all, okay? But I think you do expect it from a lot of men just because they don't understand female anatomy. But to see women dog on a woman's appearance and then go, oh, well, she's a predator. So, like, yeah, I know. But by digging in on one woman's genitalia, you are also bringing in a whole load of other women. Like, oh, she's got an outie. Yes, so do most of the population. Something like 70%, I think. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a bit weird to me. Like, you can say anything about her, but coming for her genitalia is just a little bit weird, in my opinion.
Got steak, half a burger, chips. I'll probably have a quarter of this plate. I just don't actually eat that much. Josh has got a tiny bit of burger, chicken, steak,
I'm realistic.
onion. Okay.
I mean, if that's all you need to recharge after having sex with the 1,000 men, I'm genuinely impressed. I'm honestly impressed because that's like, if that was me, I would need more than a bit of steak and a burger. I don't know why I'm watching this. This is irrelevant. But, you know, still behind the scenes, I guess.
He was funny. I said to him, I don't know if you're drying me up or making me wet, but like I'm laughing. 500, 600, 800, 900. The big 1,000 was well and completely done.
But any messages to the people that joined today that you want to say hi?
Just thank you. Like, honestly, thank you so much. Because if it wasn't for you turning up, putting your inside of me, like, I wouldn't have any of this whatsoever. Like, and it really has changed my life, and hopefully I can continue pleasuring you.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people. There we go.
I've seen a lot of people recently speculate on whether they think this is real or not. And honestly, I don't know. Because logistically, I don't think it's possible. I think somebody did the maths. I'm not even going to attempt to do the maths because I tried this last time and it didn't work. And it did not really make sense. Like, I was like, nah, you didn't. Not in that time. And it's just funny because, like she just said then, if it wasn't for all these people coming and doing it, like, she wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, it's funny how I see a lot of people, including myself, get online for speaking about this kind of stuff. But ultimately, the problem is her doing it. You know, people talking about it, yeah, we've had the argument of promotion, I guess, free promotion. But a lot of people get really angry when I say that it's also partly down to the men that partake in this activity. Now, people have obviously misconstrued that to be me saying that it's the men's fault. This is a very joint effort here. Bonnie is the host, but these people are actively joining the queue to pipe her. Now, if they were women doing that, I would have stuff to say about that too. It's absolutely zero to do with the fact that they are men. I just think it's unfair to not criticize the men doing it. But that doesn't mean I'm criticizing men for doing it, but I'm criticizing the men that are queuing. As I think any man would criticize a woman for queuing for the same cock, like, you know?
Okay, so would you eat me after taking all those hundreds of men?
Definitely not.
Really? No. Okay, boys, this is an invite for anyone that wants to come and clean me up afterwards because Bevo's not in the mood to swallow.
He has to have some form of humiliation kink. Bro has to being degraded. I don't know if you've seen everything that's going on with Bevo at the moment, but he's gone into doing corn, which I don't really feel surprised about considering that he fell off really hard. Now, I personally think that the Bevo hate is pretty forced. I think he's not a bad person from what I know. I don't think he's a terrible guy. I don't think he deserves to necessarily be hated on. I think he deserves to be clowned on a little bit because this kind of behaviour is slightly weird. But I'm not surprised he's gone on to do porn, considering, like I said, his views have been off for a very long time. Apparently there's this clip surfacing of him doing adult media. I say apparently. And he turns around mid-G and says something like, hopefully you know the rules. Man, I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I don't... Go do what you're going to do, I guess. I don't know what else I meant to say about this. It's exhausted, man. It's been exhausted.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, what hurts more, your mouth or your...
Yeah, probably down there a little bit.
Again, I mean, I genuinely want to know the ins and outs of this part. If I ever did an interview with her, I would say, okay, morals aside, ethics aside, let's forget that. Let's just put that to the side. What are you doing to be okay for 1,000 men? Because that's 12 hours of, how physically are you coping down that? I need to know, what product are you using to keep yourself going for that long? It's impressive. Honestly, if this is true, rip aside the morals that I've been bleating on about for however long. I know you guys are probably bored. Let's just think about it. Let's just think, how are you doing this? What's the science, man? Because I want to know. Because to say you're a little bit sore down there is an understatement. I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine, actually, but... I don't understand. The best part is, that queue is the most insane dynamic known to man. Imagine you just queuing there, yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, you. Yeah, not bad. You looking forward to your 12.5 seconds inside Bonnie Blue? Yeah, man, yeah, just, Yeah, see, I can't carry that bit on because I don't know what you'd even say. What could you talk about? Yeah, how you doing? How's your mum doing? How's the weather? What's your plan? What are you going to do with her for 12.5 seconds? What is there to say? I don't know. It's a bonding experience, I guess. Maybe they could put a therapist in the line who walks back and forth and just speaks to them and says, what went wrong, man? What went wrong for you to be here? And I saw this other woman talking about how there should be a list, the Bonnie Blue register, the Bonnie Lily register. And it's basically a register where men have to register themselves as a self-proclaimed creep, because it is kind of creepy. You have to be on this register that proves to people that, and is evidence that you've slept with one of them. For the girls that are looking for a relationship, because I know if I was searching for a relationship and I met a man, I would want to know, have you been on that list? Are you on the Bonnie Lily list? Have you piped one of them? Because if you have queued for one of them, I'm sorry, we're done. I can't pursue this because, many reasons. STDs, just not doing that to myself, you know?
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the 5?
Okay, this was the main thing that caught my attention about her. Just when I thought that she could not scrape the bottom of the barrel further, okay, she basically goes into this Five Guys and ultimately harasses this innocent worker who's just doing his job. Wow, are we surprised? Well, yeah, actually I was surprised because I didn't think she'd do that, but, you know, a bit of casual harassment to add to the list, that's fine.
I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the 5 Guys from? The 5 Guys. I didn't know if it was like a special room or you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I mean, I'd want to give you, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm saving myself for marriage.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing it right now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Are you on it?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Many things wrong with this. Let's talk about that. First of all, as someone who has worked in customer service before, from the ages of like 15 all the way up to being 20. Yeah, 20. So for 5 years. I already hate people that try and talk to me more than they need to. Like, call me a Scrooge, all right? I don't care. I'm trying to do my job. You're trying to do yours. It's why when you go out and you get someone who you deem to be miserable behind the counter, shut up. They're being paid minimum wage to deal with holes. If they want to be miserable, let them be miserable, all right? So I've always been like, just don't talk to me. Just let me do my job. Imagine dealing with this, all right? You're doing your work. Don't know why he's not on a keyboard. He's at Five Guys, but you get me. And then Bonnie Blue comes in, and I wonder if he knows who she is because, I mean, she's been around, and starts harassing you because it was almost like Bonnie, he rejected you at the start, and then you continue to come on to him, which has a name. Harassment. I don't know if you knew that, and just because you're a woman, by the way, that doesn't mean you're not able to harass, which is exactly what you've just done. Yay! Sexual harassment. And imagine just being recorded in this scenario anyway. Like, that's just embarrassing. And she saw this as well. So she sexually harassed him, thought, yeah, that's sick, and then I'm going to post that now. But because technically she's not breaking the law in her eyes, why not post it? Because for her, any publicity is good publicity, which is actually embarrassing. Really? And again, imagine having the ego that you think you can do that. You're rejected by a man and you think, well, he can't really be rejecting me because I'm Bonnie Blue. Like, it's embarrassing. I couldn't even do this anyway. Like, I can barely talk to people in public. I'm like, half the time I don't know what I'm saying and doing. I'm just having like an aneurysm trying to maintain social normality within the way I'm talking. The comment saying if this was a man, it doesn't matter the gender, does it? I never understand. I get what you're saying, because it's important to remember for the people that don't feel outraged. But I feel like if you don't feel outraged by this because it's a woman, that's a you problem. Like, I don't think we should have to point out the fact that if it was the other way around. Because first of all, it is often the other way around. And second of all, it's wrong regardless of the gender. Like, it doesn't matter who is who here. But yeah, let me harass someone and then post it. That's mint.
How many have you? Honestly don't know. Maybe 500, 600 people.
I mean, to be honest, contrary to many people's beliefs, okay, about me, because I know they're out there. I know you guys hate me because I hate sex workers. It's not true. I don't hate sex workers. Again, I'm not going to explain that. I can't be asked. But contrary to belief from y'all, I don't really care. Okay, I don't care if she's 1,000 people, 2,000 people. Now, that may not be for me, for my own personal reasons, but ultimately, what she does behind closed doors isn't bothering me. How many people she's taken at once doesn't bother me. How many she's ran through doesn't bother me. Things I speak about are the stuff that's put online, the stuff that's pushed onto young people, pornography in general because of its accessibility online. But honestly, girl, if you were doing all of this not on camera, I actually couldn't really give a shit, to be honest, because it's not my business and you're choosing to do it. I think it's the sharing it aspect that is, in my opinion, difficult. And I think this is a thing to bear in mind when people think that I'm like against female pleasure. Go. As I said before, I am not against female pleasure, okay, ladies and gentlemen. I love female pleasure. Anyway, genuinely, I like, get off as many times as you want, girl. Honestly, do what you want. What I care about is the internet and having sex is great. Who doesn't love to have sex? That sounds sarcastic. But you get my point. Like, I don't care how many men you've cheated. That's great. Honestly, you do you.
A lot of these young men are going out. Mm-hmm. They're having unprotected at the end of the night with people who could have STDs that are drunk, and that when they come to you that you're giving them a type of sex education, right? And that you wouldn't mind your son losing his virginity like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So at the heart of what sex is, it's like intimacy, communication, respect. So by someone going and losing their virginity and having to pay for it, they are then robbed of that transaction of what it is to be truly intimate.
I think, if we was going back in time and most people was in, when they get married young, remember my grandparents, they got married like 17, 18, like if that was the type of environment we was in, then I'd be thinking, I'm taking something away from them. But it's not. Majority of the people that lose their virginity, it's on a night out or they've...
I actually don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Now, I'm not arguing that a lot of people lose their virginity that way, but tackling an issue that you believe is an issue with another issue doesn't really work. Saying like, oh, they could go and do something much more terrible, so I'm going to do this to make up for that. There are so many things you could do then in that case under the pretense of, well, it's better than option B. Now, like, ideally, people should just be like that woman said, losing their virginity in a safe environment with communication and, free will. But you saying, oh, well, that doesn't often happen, so I'm going to have sex with them for my own benefit because you're benefiting because you're selling it online and making money is really weird. So in that case, then let's just make prostitution illegal so that people don't go and have one-night stands, because that's ultimately a transactional sexual relationship is just essentially prostitution. I don't know if that's offensive to say, but you can't tackle one issue with another. You're saying, oh, let's tackle like dirty hookup culture with prostitution. That's fucking stupid. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but even then, even if you weren't benefiting from it, like, you've had sex with so many people, these people haven't. She knows, I feel like she's just using this because it makes her look like some fucking savior. Like, I don't know.
What letter name is the biggest freak in the sheets?
J.
Why J?
I'm not sure. Just got a feeling. What about you?
K.
K. Why K?
That's the first letter of my name.
I'll give you longer than 2 minutes.
How long would I get?
How long do you need? 30 seconds?
He looks about 15. And again, whatever, man, that's closer to her type, I guess. Because, barely legal, I don't know. That's weird. Why is she everywhere? Like, how would she even get herself on this street podcast thing? Like, do you think they invite her to come and do this, 18-second clip? I just don't get how they randomly bumped into her.
Are you not worried about STDs?
No, I get regularly STD tested all the time. Yes,
But I'm talking about them.
Yeah, they're going to wear a condom, but also people should know you should get tested anyway. And loads of them haven't worn condoms before, so I actually enjoy the fact I can put a condom on them, or they can understand you can have sex with a condom on and it still be...
Again, she's just saying this because she can say, oh, I'm teaching guys that condoms can be good. It's like, give it a rest, bro. Again, I would rather you just do it and be like, yeah, I'm doing it and I'm morally wrong, whatever. Okay? Because the thing is, at this point, we know you're lying, you're doing it for the money, and that, you know what, I would much rather you just say that. It's a lot more respectable. I don't see why she should sit there and lie and say, I'm doing it because I care about men's safety. Okay, because you don't. That's just a fact. And also, I thought we were all under the impression and kind of knew and were educated enough to know that STDs can still be passed on when you're wearing protection, when you're wearing condoms. You can still get an STD. And you may be checked, but when do you know when these people were checked? What if number 75 has an STD and number 76 doesn't have an STD? You've just passed an STD on to there from after 75 all the way to the 1,000th. And that's what? 925 people you've just given an STD to. But yeah, that's safe, I guess. You're right, you're teaching safety. You're not a ed teacher, bro.
My thoughts on the man who went undercover at the Bonnie Blue 1,000 Men Marathon and what he saw. So, if people haven't read the news articles today, a man named Ali Walker had decided to be one of the 1,000 men and gather content for his TikTok to actually give us an insight as to what is happening behind the scenes in this fucking shit show. So Ali had wrote in the article saying there were around 30 or 40 guys around her at any one time, all taking turns. She was surrounded by guys. There were so many guys there and I'm quite shy. I've never been involved in anything like that, so I didn't get involved. Now, if you've got a weak stomach...
Okay, buddy. Okay. I believe you. Thousands wouldn't. Well, 1,000 wouldn't.
Please don't look at the next picture that I am going to attach. Okay? The aftermath of said party. Condoms and paper towels all over the place. My question now is, when does this end?
Yeah, well, I said this before. I think, like, only is going to really run its course, because I don't think there's much else left to do now. You've done 1,000 men, then what? Because, I mean, logistically, you're not getting higher than that in 12 hours. And at that point, I mean, look, 1,000 men in 12 hours should be considered torture. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I've seen so many comments over the many OF videos I've done, talking about female autonomy and how I just don't believe that women should have rights. So, like, some of the most insanely brain-dead comments where it just gets to the point where I'm like, you're just stupid. That you've got to be stupid, because if you genuinely believe that my problem is women having sexuality, women being horny, then you're just stupid. Because lying there having 1,000 men over a period of 12 hours is not pleasurable. Like, you're not even performing, you're not doing anything, you're just lying there. How is that, like, hot? And the men that find that attractive are scary. Now, again, obviously there are men that wouldn't do this. I think most men wouldn't do this. But then there are 1,000 men that would do this, and those 1,000 men are grim. Like, that, it's just a fact. Like, you're queuing up to have sex with someone who has just so many people at once. Like, I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand how anyone can even get it up at that point. And I think, genuinely, I bet there's, like, some correlation between all of these types of men that would do that. Like, I bet if you were to dig into, like, their internet search history and look at what they're into, I bet they'd all be very similar. Because how, like, a man like that has, like, actual morals can have sex with a woman who's already just been f***ed by so many people and not feel bad about that is weird. And people will get, yeah, but she wants to do it. So that's, like, the same level of, like, idiocy in saying, like, a prostitute does work, so therefore it's not morally wrong to go to a prostitute. To me, that's how I see it, you know? It's like people that say, oh, it's fine to go to these in Thailand prostitutes, massage people because they're there for you to do it. Like, there's moral implications behind doing that. In my opinion, obviously, you're allowed to think differently, but I mean, no comment.
A man who was allegedly at Bonnie Blue's 1,000 Men experience has given an insight into what went down. He's even provided photos of the aftermath, which of course I'm going to show you. But jump scare and trigger warning, if you're eating or drinking right now, please scroll. So according to this man, who is an out-of-work security guard, went to this experience so that he could film content for his TikTok and make money from it. So please take this all with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. You know, I mean, maybe I'm not one to talk because I'm also doing content. In fact, yeah, I'm not one to talk because that would make me a massive hypocrite. This makes me money. I think we all know that. The countless videos I've done talking about OF people makes me money. But I mean, you have to remember that people make an income, right? If you're a content creator, we talk about these things because that's our job. That's just how it is. I understand the moral implications behind that, making money off this kind of thing, and especially going to the place. We don't know that he's telling the truth. I think at least when you're online reacting to things, you are reacting to what you see. Whereas when you claim to have been to these places and you tell us what's happening, we don't really know that is happening. We have to take it with a pinch of salt, as she said. But I mean, I've seen that image twice now. I don't need to see it again. That's just vile. I can't even imagine like what place is that? It looks quite cool. It looks like a nice place. It's just covered in layers of spunk. Like, I bet if you were to get one of those shovel things and scrape it on the floor, it would literally just be layers and layers of splooge, which is nice.
And what are we doing today, Bonnie?
I am going to do a world record of 1,000 men in 24 hours. The only thing I'm nervous about, I'm like, what if people don't turn up? But if they don't turn up, they don't turn up. But I arrived here 2 hours ago and there was already people outside.
Again, you know what, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I want to know what these men look like, to be honest. I want to know what they look like, the type of people that they are, their background, their history, like their relationship history, like what they jack off to online, because I bet it's all similar. And like, that's the weird thing. Like, she says, oh, I don't mind who I sleep with. I'm so inclusive, like I'll anyone, like small cock, big cock, whatever. That's great. Like, body positivity queen. Like, you're not getting like a high caliber guy. Like, let's be honest. You're just not. Like, I don't think I know anyone in my personal life that would do this. Maybe a few. I don't know. But still.
I did not expect her to be this filthy.
Did you not?
No. I thought it was all lies. Well, she proved me wrong, man.
Behind the scenes, what was it like?
Yeah, crazy, man.
Was it good?
Fucking good.
Did you guys get ahead?
Yeah, of course, man. I got my thing. I did my thing. What
Was it better than anyone you got?
Yeah. You know what? Let me say this. Better than my ex.
Well, I mean, she has sucked like 1,000 dicks plus. See, I said this last time. Like, this is exactly what I mean. How Bonnie Blue thinks she's helping women by teaching men how to but then you have these men going, yeah, this I was better at sucking meat than my ex is. Yeah, and Gordon Ramsay's better at making eggs than I am. Like, that's because he's cooked so much more eggs. I never get this comparison. Lewis Hamilton's better at driving cars than a average car driver. Great one, Kate. But you know what I mean? Like, what a nice thing to say about your ex-girlfriend. Your ex-girlfriend isn't sucking and taking loads of sausage at once. That's why. Absolute morons.
So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview, gangbangs after gangbangs to start with. It was just like, the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. Then sort of like...
Okay, so that's how she did it. Because everyone was saying, how did she logistically do 1,000? But I suppose if she was having like gangbangs, all they need to do is technically put it in for 5. What am I doing, man? Like, what? Again... listen to me. Hear me out, okay? Listen to my words and run with them, okay? Because I know that's what people like to do. I don't give a okay, if she wants to do gangbang. I don't care if she wants to take 7,000 men in the ass. I really don't care. Now, I'm going to question the morality of those said men who will do that. Because I don't think it's healthy to have that level of sex. But at the same time, honestly, I don't care. It's not the sex I have a problem with, really. Again, I could go in... For me personally, because of how I view I personally wouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Really? And honestly, I think this could be the end, guys. I think this could be the end of me covering Bonnie Blue because, to be honest, what else is there to say? She's done 1,000 men. She's harassed somebody at their workplace. I think she's genuinely ticked all the boxes now. I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about. What else is there to say? Thank you very much for watching, guys. Not that you could have particularly enjoyed this content. It's kind of difficult to enjoy. I don't think that's the word. Thank you for listening if you've made it this far. But yeah, see you next time, I guess.